Welcome back, YouTube, to more MSQ playthrough. We are in Endwalker. We're going to go ahead and pop into it. It is snowing in Charlie, and this is kind of awesome. Well, at least we've been allowed to remain in the city, and our endless investigations have not been in vain. We know that this mysterious duty of theirs began with whatever the form discovered in the ethereal sea. With our freedom so sorely curtailed, however, we will struggle to learn aught more of substance here in Charlian. The overall picture has grown clearer, yes, but that's in spite of the Forum being so maddeningly vague about this duty of theirs. Why are they so reluctant to explain their actions in plain words? Survival, come what may. Is father's work so vital that it takes precedence over his own family? Alphinaud, Alice, it is you. When I heard you'd been tracked before the Forum, I came as swiftly as I could. I am so very glad they allowed you to stay. Mother! Millions Louvier at your service. And you fine people must be the scions of the seventh dawn. How lovely it is to finally meet you. Mother, please. We don't wish to make things difficult for you. If word reaches father that you were here... Oh, bother that. Am I to be chastised for speaking with my own children? I am well aware that you and Master Fortunaud are not on the best terms at the moment, but I've been absolutely desperate to see my darlings again. You will come by the house, won't you? I have gifts waiting. The timing couldn't be better. As matters stand, we shan't be going anywhere until we discuss matters with Thancred's group and reconsider our options. Go visit your home. We will be back at the annex when you are ready to rejoin us. I'm not sure MSQ, what do you think? MSQ? The MSQ playthrough. What a splendid day this has turned out to be. Champion of Eorzea, I insist that you join us. Ah, but we must be quick about it. Not for my own benefit, but should my husband return and find you enjoying our hospitality, the servants will be made to suffer the consequences. MSQ, if you would be so kind as to escort my children to the estate. And then she was gone, and with her any opportunity to protest. Indeed, the matter is settled. Enjoy yourselves, you three. I apologize. My mother is not one to take no for an answer. Still, I am glad, relieved even, to see her in such high spirits. What say you, MSQ? Though it seems we shall have little enough time to enjoy it, will you accompany us on our visit home? Fine. If we're going, then let's get it over with, but be sure to stay in the entrance hall. No peeking into our private chambers, thank you very much. Why ever not? Your room was always perfectly neat and tidy. Everyone has things they'd rather keep to themselves, don't they? Cherished mementos you couldn't bring yourself to throw away? Childhood toys? I mean, never mind. The Louvier estate is that way, straight down the stairs. Come on. When Alice and I were little, this bridge was as far as we were permitted to wander alone. I say alone, but my mother or her servant was always somewhere nearby, keeping a watchful eye. And now look at us, traveling to different continents, different worlds even. As children, Alphinaud and I would often wait here for our father to come home from work. Must have been a day when his meetings ran long, because I remember growing restless and leaning out over the railing to watch the water rush by. Father, of course, arrived at that exact moment, came pounding down the path in a panic, crying out my name. I like doing these little extra tidbits of information. It's fun to just color the world that way. Oh yes, this is where I first practiced magic on an actual person. Alice had fallen, you see, and scraped her knee quite badly, so I tried casting the simple restorative spell that I had just learned. How she smiled when the wound closed, the joy and relief. That was, I believe, the very moment I chose the healing arts as the main subject of my studies. We used to come here all the time with grandfather. In summer, I would dip my hands and feet in the fountain and splash about. Not Alphinaud, though. Even back then, he wasn't very fond of playing in water. He'd make any excuse to avoid it, which would explain how I came to swim like an auk, and he sink like a stone. And here you are at last. Please do come in. That's a lot of servants.
Welcome home, my lady. What? What are you gawping at?
Come on now. That's Louvier in all its grandeur, of course.
Oh, gods, please don't. It makes me feel like a spoiled princess.
Lord Fourcheneau is not to hear of this visit. And I should also like the children to have their gifts, ere my husband makes his return.
As you wish, my lady.
Master Alphinaud, Mistress Alice, if you'd accompany me upstairs.
We shan't be long.
Good old helmet head. I should take that thing off.
The twins have been sending letters home from time to time, recounting their latest adventures. I am sure they withhold certain details, of course, if only to keep me from worrying. Yet a mother worries all the same. In the early days especially, I tried to support them as best I could, sending the Scion's coin and other such donations. Fortunately, they have found the strength to overcome adversity time and time again. Their words grow more confident with every letter, their depictions more vivid. The triumphs and defeats, the joys and sorrows. 'Tis clear that they have come to find value in every experience. But of those they treasure most, it would seem that meeting you might be the most impactful. Why, since that fateful day, I do believe there has not been a single missive in which you were not mentioned by name. 'Tis plain they care for you, and I am glad they have such a steadfast companion watching over them. Under normal circumstances, I would offer you tea, but alas, these are anything but. In any event, why don't you keep me company whilst we await my children's return? Perhaps you might regale me with a tale or two of your exploits.
Oh, they got new garbs, that's right.
Gifts. I wasn't sure what to expect. Mother,
Oh, look how well it fits you. And the style is to your liking?
It's perfect. Exactly what I would have chosen. But please Please, tell me you had something different made for Alphinaud.
Naturally. You are hardly little children anymore. And while I shall miss dressing you in those precious matching outfits, I must respect the individuals you have grown to become. See for yourself.
Thank you for the splendid clothes, Mother. Stylish, comfortable, and eminently practical.
I am so glad you like them. They are, however, missing one final touch.
If you would allow me, Master Alphinaud.
Is he getting sage weapons? He's getting sage weapons.
Wait. Are these...
A sage's tools of the trade. They belonged to your father. Though he may as well be chained to his desk these days, as a student he was often called upon to venture into the field. He wielded those armaments, both to heal and to harm in no few battles. None so fierce as those you two have braved, perhaps, but battles nonetheless. Thus did I pull them out of storage, to show you that he was not always the man who stands in vehement opposition to you now. And also because it would be a terrible waste of ridiculously expensive House Leveilleur commissioned artistry.
Jobstone.
I'm told these devices are quite difficult to master, but someone of your extensive experience should soon have them darting about with grace and aplomb. May the wisdom in that crystal serve you well. And please, try to find common ground with your father, that you might come and go without need for this awful subterfuge.
We will, Mother. I promise.
My final gifts to you, before you run off, are an observation and a suggestion. Firstly, Fortunaud has ever been a serious man, but it was only after you were born that he truly lost himself in his work. I may not know the forum's inner workings, but I know your father's. The timing of that change in him holds some significance. Secondly, do not seek to best your father with words. Far better that you simply show him. Let him discover the merit of your actions, after they cannot be undone.
Oh, Mother.
We shall take your wisdom to heart. Thank you again for these gifts, and farewell for now.
Safe travels, my children. Eat well, stay warm, and keep your friends close.
I just realized I haven't changed my hair for Endwalker. It's got to be a little bit longer and grizzly. We'll do that later. Look at them. Look at them. Thank you for indulging Mother's request. I can see it meant a lot to her. I shall refrain from inquiring as to the content of your private conversation. Our visit was all too brief. But now, however, it will have to suffice, as will these tokens of home that we will carry with us, these gifts to help us remember who we are and whence we came. But enough sentimentality, let us return to the annex and rejoin our companions. Enjoyed your time with Olivier's, I hope? I would ask how the twins fared, but their new outfits tell the tale. I only hope we can help them to reconcile with our father, that they might return home one day with their heads held high. In the meantime, we edge ever closer to the secret the Forum strives to hide, and the flower bequeathed to you by Heidelin is sure to guide us going forward. I'm confident that once you've scouted out the situation in Thavnair, we'll be well equipped to plot our next move. Speaking of which, I have Kryle's instructions in hand. If you are ready to set out, then so are we. Having been to Thavnair before, I can travel by Aetheryte, but what of the rest of you? Another sea voyage would waste time we do not have. Kryle was of the same mind, and has already secured the aid of the good folk of the Confluence. We'll take ourselves there. The Confluence, thou sayest? I'm afraid so, my friend. Don't catch your meaning? Thou wilt recall the hunt for Iceheart, unto whose sanctuary we delivered thee owing to the knowledge of our comrade Moonbrinda. Moonbrinda was an authority on aetherology, field of study she did embark upon in pursuit of her parents' example. Both are authorities in their own right, and both are researchers at the Confluence. Haven't you gone to see them yet? I attempted to do so earlier, but to my shame, my courage failed me at the last, as it hath the many times I thought to reach out to them after sending that fateful letter. Neither time nor introspection have revealed unto me the words I should speak, and thus have I kept my silence. Whether you come with us or no is your choice and yours alone. If it is too difficult, we'll manage. Thou art kind to say so, but I have no intention of forsaking our cause. I shall go to the Confluence, and I shall face that which hath long been overdue. If it's settled, then let us be off. When we arrive, we should look for a researcher named Keat. I'm going to really quickly change our hair and also take this ridiculous helmet off. So we'll see you at the next location. All right, so we're back and we've gone with a different set of armor. Gone with Alexander, our shield, horse chiffon, regular sword. Our haircut also, we've adopted the Ardbert, so it's a little bit longer than our short hair previously. It's the exact same hair as Ardbert, I believe. And I think this is the same hair as Meteor wears in the trailer for Endwalker. Might be a little bit longer. Well now, this is a rather lot stern faces. Are my library books overdue again? Not to our knowledge. We're associates of Kryle of the students of Baldazian. We seek passage to Thavnair and understand that you can assist us. Ah, the test subjects. Welcome, welcome. Test subjects? Oh, you hadn't heard? Well then, allow me to explain. So, in order to travel to an Aetheryte, you ordinarily need to be attuned to it beforehand. Otherwise, you can't use it as a beacon to seek out while you're just a mess of aether hurtling along the lifestream. An inconvenient but incontrovertible limitation of Aetheryte teleportation. But what if I were to tell you that there's a way to travel to an Aetheryte without being attuned to it? A way to teleport instantly to places you've never been. For long years, we've labored to make such travel possible, that people might move about more freely. And we've finally done it. We've created a new kind of Aetheryte that doesn't require attunement. Truly, that changes everything. Well, my language may have been a bit misleading. The user need not attune to these Aetherites, but the Aetherites themselves must have been pre-attuned to each other, thereby facilitating travel between the 2 points. But it just so happens that our first test pair of Aetherites, one has been installed here in Sharlayan, and the other over in Yedlamad, a port town in Thavnair. As you may know, excuse me, our nation has long maintained strong ties with Radzathand, and indeed we owe much of this breakthrough to the contributions of their alchemists. So to sum up, we're to test these aetherites. How fortuitous for you. I should mention that an accident has impaired my ability to channel aether. Will this be a problem? Not at all. As a matter of fact, you might say these aetherites were made for people like your good self. The magics imbued within will whisk you away without any effort on your part. A veritable dream come true, and far be it from me to worry about such things, but do we have permission to make use of your shiny new invention? The only permission required is yours, so assuming you're willing, we're all set. It may come as a surprise, but we actually struggle to find test subjects. Most people seem to have an unreasonable fear for their souls gradually disintegrating as they drift helplessly in the livestream, in the statistically unlikely event that something goes awry. But it's plain that you aren't most people. Mistress Crowd truly knows how to pick 'em. If I might change the subject, are Master Wilfson and Mistress Blueweeder not present today? Oh, you didn't hear? They've recently resigned their posts. Their expertise was needed elsewhere. A large-scale project helmed by the Forum itself, as I understand, but I'm not privy to the details. I see. Any other questions? No? Then let's get going before you change your minds. Please see to your preparations and head outside to the Aetherite Plaza. I'll be along shortly.
Right, we're all set. Just the four of you, was it?
3. I'm already attuned to the crystal in Thavnair.
You are? Oh, I would have preferred more test subjects. Oh, well, never mind. If our 3 travelers could line up here, please.
Oh, I kind of be matching my boys too. I got all the black with Thancred, and then all the gold with Urianger.
Yes, right there is fine. Take a deep breath, and I'll soon have you soaring through the ether. Oh, and one last thing. You might experience a teensy-weensy touch of violent ethereal sickness. Good luck!
What?
What? I was wondering when they showed Thavnair on the map, I was like, that's kind of far. That's kind of the opposite direction of Charlian. All the way down there. Excuse me, it's been a long day. Instantaneous. Who would have thunk?
Thavnair, home to city-state Radz-at-Han. Rising from the southeast waters of the Bounty, this Isle of Plenty served as the battleground for a conflict between 2 peoples. Their cultures bled into one another until a unique amalgamation was distilled from the chaos, in a process not unlike their precious alchemy. Once solidified as a single nation, an adamant stance of neutrality would hold invaders at bay for a time. Now across this vibrant isle creeps a fog of malice. What choice do you have? What chance? Against such an insidious foe.
Dig the music. Dun 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 dun. Kind of reminds me of Triple Triad. A little bit.
I've seen fairer faces after a bout of bad shellfish. Let me bring you something to drink. That should help settle your bellies.
There was a note with Kryle's instructions. Don't let a Stinian roam the markets alone. He's alarmingly bad with coin.
You managed to will yourself to your feet, but given your condition, will you be able to reach Estinian in time? Absolutely not. Tuned to the Aetherite. So we don't have to deal with that again. You there. I need 3 drinks. Something that helps with aether sickness. But by the Monacia, a traveler. Greetings. Greetings and welcome. You are wise, good sir, to come to me. My special armored lassie, made with only the finest and freshest ingredients, is famed for calming unruly bellies. By way of a warm welcome to Thavnair, I am pleased to offer to you for the low price of 19,800 gil. For not 1, not 2, but 3 bottles. A bargain amongst bargains. The price is high road robbery, and you want to say as much to Estinian, but you realize any words of warning you cry out would be accompanied by your last meal. You must stand before Estinian and using gestures deny that the deal is fair. I thought you could barely stand. What do you need to tell me that's so urgent? Wait, I shouldn't buy the lassie? This merchant is swindling me? Sincere apologies, sir, but I appear to have my prices confused. It's actually 1,890 gil for the 3 bottles of lassie. That confusion would have been quite costly for both of us. Very well then, your coin. Here, a bottle for each of you. Take them to the others and get some rest. I'll be back after I've explored the town. Yeah, they really make you feel it, huh? Praise be to the 12. My stomach doth loosen its death grip. My heartfelt thanks to thee, Anastinian, and to thine fine fruits of this land. You were in time. Excellent. You've spared us Tataru's wrath. Sweet, sweet release. If you haven't already, you should have yours too. Right, I'm ready to get on with it. That lassie truly worked wonders. Back on your feet, I see. Thy hair. Aye, I've bound it. Just the most I could do against the heat short of shedding my armor. May I ask where you got the cord for it? A local vendor. The man said it's a Thavnairian weave, tough and not easily unraveled. And how much did it cost? 9,400 gil. Steel, I was told. It's nothing fancy, but I've always valued function over form. That's incredible. I dare say not even Alphanode could hold a candle to you. It's not uncommon for merchants to set their prices high, but does it seem excessive here? I am inclined to agree with thine assessment. It doth seem excessive, unusually so. Claiming Thavnair as its dominion, the nation of Radzatan hath long thrived as a hub of commerce. In the beginning, there were the Arkosodara, a Matang tribe indigenous to this island. Over time, they came to be joined by other races, and through their intermingling, a culture rich and distinct did emerge. From alchemy to textiles, the products of Hanish culture have come to be celebrated and coveted the world over, a development only aided by the nation's prime location as a waypoint betwixt east and west. All of this hath combined to make a trading power of Radzatan, yet such a status cannot be taken for granted. Nay, it must needs be maintained through judicious governance and stringent regulation, neither of which I see any evidence, given that merchants at a gateway town are free to fleece hapless travelers and tarnish the reputation of the nation at large. Just so, that opportunistic pricing as rampant doth suggest that oversight is much weakened, or mayhap that the people have fallen upon hard times. Whatever the truth may be, it would be prudent to ascertain the current state of affairs. Prudent and practical, aye. We've naught to lose by learning more. So ere we seek out Kryle's acquaintance, shall we see what information we can gather here in Yedlamad? Excellent. We didn't exactly get off to a flying start, but we'll make up for it. Right. Let us split and make inquiries in town. MSQ, the pier is yours. Once we have learned what we can, we regroup by the Aetheryte. Off-putting through the mere sight of it may be. The crate is laden with fruits, but they are on the verge of spoiling, as if they have been left too long. Gazing out from the pier, you spy boats moored off by nearby islands, with the silhouettes of larger seafaring vessels farther away. Compared to other ports you have visited in the past, there appears to be very little activity. What am I doing? Oh, recording my sales. Still do it daily out of habit, though I don't know why I bother. Hardly sell anything these days. Business has never been this terrible, but I suppose things could be even worse. I could have a consortium to keep afloat like Kalahari. I don't envy his position. Better to be alone with my little operation, I've come to realize. You're a traveler, by the looks of you. If you have a moment, perhaps you could pay Kalzal a visit. He'd be glad for the tidings from abroad. Like as not, you'll find him at the Saltwind Sails, the Harbor Guild building across the water from here. Well now, if it isn't a traveler, you're a rare sight in these unsettled times. People have been giving us a wide berth since that accursed tower suddenly appeared. If it just stood there and loomed ominously, perhaps things would be fine after a fashion, but no, it had to spawn fell fiends as well. We still have our lives thanks to the Radiant Host, but business is as good as dead. What'll become of us, only the gods know. Ooh, excuse me. The Dalmaskins aren't coming, but we already have everything they ordered. What are we supposed to do with it? I don't know, but yelling at me isn't going to help. All I know is that their plans have changed, and that's that. Look, you must have known this might happen. The Empire is at war with itself, and the provinces are in chaos. And there's the tower sitting on our doorstep spitting out monstrosities. The city has its defenses, but we've been afforded no protection out here. We can't blame foreigners for not wanting to take the risk. Yeah, but this will be an enormous loss. All right. Forget about the Dalmaskins. Surely some ships are still coming. We have fresh produce, handicrafts, medicines, all the perennial Hannish favorites. Our consortium works closely with merchants and artisans to supply only the finest wares. Quality is guaranteed. I know all these things, Kazal, I do, which is why I regret to say I have nothing for you. All voyages have been cancelled or indefinitely postponed. And you are? Wait, you're a foreigner, aren't you not? A merchant? Please tell me you're a merchant. I see, that's a shame. I'm sorry, but we're discussing important matters. If you need something, please talk to one of the others. Excuse me? My name is Matsya, and I'm here to see Kazal. Oh, it seems he's busy. I'll come back later then. Yes, can I help you? I remember seeing you back in the guild. You wanted to speak with Kazal too, did you? I'm Matsya, a fisherman of Akyali, a nearby village. I sell my catch to Kazal, who offers it to foreign merchants, but he hasn't bought anything for a while now. When I heard that the consortium had been struggling, I became worried and decided to come and see him. Just as soon as he's free, anyway. He's a hard-working man, and I dare not disturb him. Those are gloves. If I may ask, what is it that you do? An adventurer, you say, and you travel the world helping people? Then that must mean you're great at dealing with strangers. Please, won't you teach me to be like you? You see, I've brought some fresh fish with me, the portion I couldn't preserve, and I want to sell them. Problem is, I'm terrible with people. I've only ever dealt with Kazal, and I can't talk to customers without getting my trunk in a twist. So please, as silly as it might sound, will you not peddle the fish in my stead and show me how it's done? If you're willing, please let me know, and we can begin at once. You'll do it then. Show me how to deal with customers? I'm in your debt. Right, please try peddling my fish to, shall we say, 3 people here in Yadlamad. I will observe you and learn. Yes? Fish, I got fish here, fresh fish, straight from the sea's bosom to your mouth. I'm sure your bosom fish are very fresh, but this is rather sudden. I don't need any fish right now, so thanks, but no thanks. Oh. Never mind, it never goes well the first time. I'm sure you'll fare better with the next customer. Well, he didn't need fish in the first place, so I doubt he would have taken any. What girl are you? Do you sell fruit by chance? If so, I want to buy some amra. Let's say a dozen. They don't need to be export quality. What do you need so many amra for? Why, for eating, of course. It may seem like a lot, but of late I go through that much in no time at all. I'm a stock trader by trade, but with no vessels coming these days, the wares are beginning to pile up. By the same token, nothing is coming in from overseas, but not a day goes by that someone doesn't come asking when the next shipment is arriving for this and that and this and that. All of it wears me down, and I find myself feeling constantly hungry. I know how you feel. Thank you. A pity you don't sell fruit, but I enjoyed our little chat. It took my mind off my troubles for a moment. Never mind. If nothing else, you left her a positive impression. Let's move on to the north side of town, shall we? Let me know in the comments if you succeeded in those, or if you're just meant to not be able to sell food to these people. What is it? If you don't mind, I'm rather busy. Oh, God, it's my stomach. Ugh. I hate this sickness. No, nothing so unusual. In my hurry to get back to work, I just ate a little too quickly. You should take it easier. Eat more slowly and savor your food. Would that I could, but I can't afford to be idle. Like as not, circumstances will surely get worse before they get better, and so I'm working as hard as I can while I still can. Better to be prepared. How do you intend to prepare? By stockpiling supplies. For that, I need to earn coins so I can buy food, medicine, what have you. How about some fish for your supplies? They're fresh caught. Aye, well, fish wouldn't be bad, but I don't want to go through the hassle of preserving them myself. I'd rather buy stuff that's ready to store. So I'm afraid I'll have to pass on your fish. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must be getting back to work. Well, I suck, clearly. Too bad we couldn't make a sale, but we did manage to build something of a relationship. Thank you so much for your demonstration. It was a truly eye-opening experience. Come, let us return to the pier. I truly believe that you are not meant to succeed in any of those, otherwise I'm trash. which could also be viable. Where am I meant to... Oh. Thank you so much for showing me how to talk to customers. Though you didn't manage to sell any fish in the end, but by the way you fearlessly approach strangers gave me much courage. When I peddle my wares, I'll remember your example and endeavor to be fearless too. Still, there's only so much I can do alone. I hope that things will return to normal for Kazal soon. I thought I heard a familiar voice, and who should it be but Matsia? Kazal, have you finished your business at the guild? So you were there too? Forgive me, try as I might, I can't find any buyers. With no ships coming in and hardly any going out, there simply aren't any options at this rate. So you can't buy my fish anymore. I'm sorry, Matsia. I truly am. But for now, you must peddle your own goods. But by myself, I can't. I want to help you, I do. But as it stands, I can barely help myself. I've poured my all into the consortium, and I'll be damned if I let it fall apart. I have friends and families depending on me, and I won't fail them. The sisters as my witness. So? Not to worry. Using what I've learned from you, I'm sure I'll manage, somehow. Well, I had best return to my village. My thanks again, and please take care on the road. I see you've been busy. Managed to learn a tidbit or two, I trust. I see. We also heard that the tower is affecting many locals' livelihoods, but to think that it would be such an extent. For another notable, if not wholly unexpected, discovery, disappearances, and kidnappings are disturbingly commonplace. As before, the culprits are almost certainly tempered Imperial soldiers. And as before, they mean to use the faith of their hapless thralls to call forth a lunar primal. Business as usual for the Telefroi. That Matsaya fellow you were helping. He's our Koso Dara, is he not? Apparently, 'tis almost exclusively his people that are being kidnapped. Should he be traveling alone? If summoning is this perpetrator's aim, it doth stand to reason that Arkasodara would be their primary targets, for 'tis the faith of their ancestors which prevaileth in this land, and many are devout adherents still. We'd better go after him. Akiali lies to the west, as I recall, the same direction as Krau's acquaintance, incidentally. It's settled then. Keep your eyes peeled while we make for the village. You do not see Matsaya nearby, but the elevated ground up ahead may provide a better vantage point. You do not see Matsaya from here either. No, leave me alone! Help! Somebody help! Matsaya's voice, and it came from the north. Where did they go? Why are you here? I see you found him in time. You and your friends came to look for me. I don't know how to thank you. On my way home, I took a moment to stop and rest. Think about what to do about, well, everything. And then those men came. Kidnappers. We'd heard that the Arkasodara were being targeted. Surely you have as well? Perhaps it's best if you took refuge in the city. We've considered it, me and the others, but fishing is all we know. The ocean all we have. I see. That's your decision to make, but should you take care not to travel alone? Question, if I may. 'Tis our understanding that strange fiends have emerged from the tower. What canst thou tell us of these beings? Not much, I'm afraid. I have no idea what they are, but I have heard that some bear an unsettling resemblance to our divinities. For that reason, some have taken to calling the tower Zot, House of Divinities in the old tongue it means. But they're not true divinities. They're monstrous imitations that bring only death. To have one's faith so twisted is a grievous indignity, and full justified art thou in thine outrage. Know that 'tis no for other purpose but to neutralize the tower that we have journeyed to this land. In time we may be forced to contend with these false gods, and thus we would learn all we may about them. Wilt thou not tell us of thy divinities and their true nature? You've come all this way to save us, really? To think I had you peddling fish? But to answer your question, yes, of course. We would gladly tell you all about our gods. We, I say, because I'm a terrible storyteller, and I'd ask my fellow villagers to do it. So please come to our village. We're good, gods-fearing folk, all of us, and we'd be honored to share our knowledge. And fish. What sayest thou? Shall we pay visit to Akyali? Wonderful. Just follow the road west and down the hill. You can't miss it. So, 'tis the simulacra of Thavnairian gods that are being summoned. If any doubt existed before, there can be none now. The kidnapped Hanish are imprisoned in the tower. I pray that we will be able to save them. Though, indeed, saving them will mean confronting their false gods like as not. I, as you said, will do well to study their religious traditions. To Akyali. Alright, we're gonna head towards that village. And in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much for watching, and hope you've enjoyed. It's a little bit later in the day for me myself, IRL, right now, so my voice is kind of giving, but we'll do the best we can. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Like and subscribe, please. It helps so much, and we'll see you.